Welcome to the Shrimply Good podcast, the official podcast for Pistol Shrimp Baseball. Lucas Burris and Jayce Eustice here with you for episode 10 of the Shrimply Good podcast presented by Beaver Creek Golf Carts. It was another exciting week of Pistol Shrimp Baseball action. We're into the playoffs and we won a playoff game, Jayce. It was an excellent 5 games for the Pistol Shrimp this past week. We started on Tuesday, which we were off, so we'll have 5 games to recap, but we end with a Sunday playoff game and we extend the Shrimply Good podcast another week is what we're hoping. So this could have been, it's the end of the season. Here's your recap. Thanks for listening. But now we sit here on Monday and we go, all right, here's what's coming this week at Schweikert Stadium. Here is this past week, because hopefully next Monday we get to do that recap after a championship victory. We'll just have to wait and see. But Jayce, how are you doing on this Monday afternoon?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Obviously, we were both down there in Danville for that playoff game, and it was a fun call there on a road, just a great game overall. And we'll get into more of the details, obviously, for anybody who hasn't heard what went down in that game. But just a fun, really exciting overall week for Pistol Shrimp Baseball.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing. If you haven't heard, the Pistol Shrimp did win a playoff game yesterday, and they defeated the Danville Dans for the first time all season in Danville. We'll recap that game more in full, but where we are right now, and I want to tell people right away, is we are hosting a conference championship playoff game on Tuesday at Schweikert Stadium. So if you're watching this on Tuesday, which is possibility because we're going to release it on Monday night, but if you're watching it as a release, hey, thanks for tuning in on this Monday evening. We have lots to talk about. Get your plans in order for tomorrow because you need to be at Schweikert Stadium at 7:05 is first pitch. Get there early. I'm going to take you through all of what's happening there later in this podcast. I have a boatload of notes for what is happening on the first playoff game ever in the history of Schweikert Stadium. Veterans in the Illinois Valley Pistol Shrimp hosting on Tuesday, 7:05 Schweikert Stadium. But that is what's coming up. That's what you need to know as we look you in the eyes and tell you, I want you at Veterans Park. I want you there.
Come on out.
For the rest of us who are tuning in to just hear a recap and all the other stuff for the Shrimply Good podcast, we'll now transition to that. Jay says it was a 4-1 week for the Pistol Shrimp, and it started with a loss, but then we rattled off 4 straight wins, and it was a loss we probably shouldn't have taken. But we'll start there on Wednesday, August 3rd against the Burlington Bees, where the Pistol Shrimp lost 11-10 in Burlington.
Yeah, if you're kind of just staying with the theme of how Pistol Shrimp have played baseball pretty much this entire season, every week and a half, 2 weeks, there's a weird game. So for the Pistol Shrimp, it was kind of good to get that one out of the way early on in this week. They played pretty well in this one. They actually out-hit the Bees 11-8. They just couldn't overcome. It was really 3 big innings on the offensive side for Burlington in that 2nd, 5th, and 7th inning for the Bees, and they ended up dropping this one to kick off the week. A new Pistol Shrimp, Daniel Strom, got the start in this one, 4 2/3 innings, gave up a couple hits, 5 runs, 6 walks was really the struggle for him, 6 strikeouts as well. Preston Kaufman came in a little bit. He got hit around 2 hits, 2 earned runs, and a walk. Then Kevin Parker went an inning, a couple of hits, and 3 runs. And Justin Rios, an inning and 2/3, a hit and a run. So pretty much any arms that we were out there throwing at those Bees that night, they were making solid contact on and doing a good job on the offensive side. As for the Pistol Shrimp's offensive side, Evan Evola had a good game in this one. He was 3 for 4 with an RBI. Cody Watanabe was 2 for 5, 3 runs scored, 2 RBIs and a double. And Alton Geiselman, 2 for 3, run, 4 RBIs, 2 doubles in that game. So it was a well-played game in which, the bats of the Bees really came alive for 11 runs at home, and they kind of snuck up to grab this win over the Pistol Shrimp to start the week.
Yeah, the Pistol Shrimp were in a fight against the Bees for the first time this year. That was what this game. They played some close games, but the Pistol Shrimp came into this game 7-0 against the Bees this season. They were looking for a season series sweep, and they went to Burlington, some hostile territory. It was a beautiful night on Wednesday in Burlington. Had the call for this game. It was a fun game. The Pistol Shrimp needed it to really move ahead in the playoff standings and felt like they had a good opportunity to beat the Bees in this one and really set their week off well. But how this game ended up ending was with some questionable calls by the umpiring crew that we talked about, and we don't need to get too deep into it. But for the Pistol Shrimp, they ended up losing this game because they had a runner on second with only 1 out, and Kevin Parker Jr. squared away to bunt, pulled the bunt back, stayed in the box. The runner stole third, didn't leave the box, and the catcher ran into him. And the home plate umpire called interference. Then that was how the 9th inning got to 2 outs with a runner on second. Next batter would get out, and that would be the ball game. So for the Pistol Shrimp, they had that tying 11th run out there would have been with one out at third and ended up having two outs at second base. So the Pistol Shrimp, we looked at that one. We're pretty positive that was the wrong call by the umpiring crew. So that was just a tough loss this game, but you can't give up 11 runs to the Burlington Bees. That was kind of the
Absolutely.
mindset of the Pistol Shrimp. And a tough loss to start this week, but it kind of just kicked him into gear of being like, we're not going to be able to cruise for this final week of the season. We have to do everything that we can to win a playoff spot. So 11-10 loss against the Burlington Bees. And then you see the Danville Dans, and you have to beat the Danville Dans at Thursday at Schweikert Stadium. And the Pistol Shrimp do just that, a 4-2 home victory over their division rival.
Yeah, absolutely. And while this wasn't officially a playoff game, this was essentially a playoff game for the Pistol Shrimp and the Danville Dans in this one. In the Pistol Shrimp, they treated us to really a great game there on Thursday at Schweikert Stadium. They held the Dans lineup to just 2 runs on 6 hits. They finally grabbed another win against Danville. They've been trending in that direction, just coming up a little bit short. Seems like they got closer every single time. I know the game before this, they lost in that 10th inning, gave up a run to lose 3-2. So this time they came back, got the win at home. Zach Losey got the start in this one, 2 1/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 runs, only one of them were earned, 4 walks and 8 strikeouts. Tucker Bougie came in out of that bullpen and just shut down the Dans lineup. 4 1/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 0 runs, 1 walk, 11 strikeouts for Tucker Bougie. Cody Watanabe had another good game in this one, 2 for 4 in RBI, including a double. Rios doubled, Quant doubled, Lane, Evola, Geiselman, Parker also all grabbed knocks in this game. It was just a high intensity game that was really well played on both sides. And up to this point in the season, the Dans had really gotten the better of the Shrimp. Going towards the end of the season, the Shrimp were able to put together a solid game really on all aspects of a baseball team and grab the victory there at home, and a huge one because they were still at that point not even locked into the playoffs with how close Rex had been playing.
Yeah, and this was the last full strength game for the Danville Dans. They would end up just kind of trying to cruise towards the end of the season. We'll talk about that on Sunday, but they put everything into the Pistol Shrimp on this Thursday at Schweikert Stadium. They threw real pitchers. They put out a really good starting lineup, and the Pistol Shrimp pulled out the victory. And it's thanks to the pitchers in this game for the Pistol Shrimp. Zach Losey had a tough first inning, but was fantastic after that, striking out 8. Bougie grabbing 11, 19 total strikeouts against the Dans in 9 innings is a ridiculous number. As fans know, 3 times 9, that's 27. The Dans only didn't get out via the strikeout in this game 8 times. That's it. And that is a ridiculous number for the Pistol Shrimp on the pitching side of things. Just enough timely hitting. This was a huge victory and set them up for some really good baseball the next few days. I mean, if we're talking about games we played this week, it all started in Burlington, which was an exciting back and forth game. The Pistol Shrimp should have picked out a victory, but you do this against the Danville Dans, and then a very good Lumber Kings team comes to town the next day. And if you win, you're in. And the Pistol Shrimp knew that, but the Lumber Kings knew that too. They're fighting for a playoff spot as well. And this was one of the best games I've ever seen at Schweikert Stadium.
No, it really was. And going into Friday, Rex was doing everything they possibly could on their end to make it tough for the Pistol Shrimp to get into the playoffs. But man, did the Pistol Shrimp respond in that game in the regular season home finale against those Lumber Kings. Clinton came out. They scored 6 runs in the first 3 innings. They led 6-2 going into the bottom of that 5th inning. But then we talked about it all season. The comeback kids, they came out to play at it again, started to chip away. They got 2 in that 5th inning. 1 in the 6th, 7th, and 8th. They tied the game going into the 9th. Both teams were scoreless in that 9th inning. Then Shanner ended up giving up a 2-run shot at the top of the 10th. And you kind of just sense, you're like, oh, man, you can't do that in that situation. Everybody, the vibes are down. It's real quiet in the stadium. Clinton went up 9-7, but they were down but not out as they got a run on a passed ball in the bottom of that 10th inning. Got a huge double from Tucker Bougie to bring home Evola, tie it back up at 9. Then in the 11th with 2 runners on, Alex Rakes laid down a bunt that was misplayed, ended up being the walk-off play the Shrimp needed to clinch that coveted playoff spot. This was just a fantastic game all around. Eben Heine got the start, and really we haven't seen this from him. 2 innings pitched, 5 hits, 6 earned runs. He got hit around a little bit, but then Harrison Bodendorf put a stop to everything, came into this game 6 1/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts. Jason Shanner came in 2 2/3 innings, 1 hit, that 1 hit being that 2-run home run, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts as well. Ebony Vola on the offensive side, 3 for 5, a run and RBI. Tucker Bougie, 2 for 3, run, 3 RBIs, including a double. Rios had a good game with an RBI, including a triple. Alex Rakes, technically 0 for 3, but 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs, and 2 walks, had a really good game. And Cody Watanabe as well, a 3 for 6 in this one. This was one of my favorite games that I've seen from the Pistol Shrimp because they just continue to chip away, battled their way back, and in the end, they grabbed that win to grab that playoff spot.
Yeah, and I'll say it again, this entire week, we're going to keep saying that. This week of Pistol Shrimp games was ridiculous, but
Absolutely.
If you're going to pick a highlight, it's the game that you know you had to win. You wanted to clinch before the end of the regular season, before you had to play one game in Lafayette the next day. You wanted to do it at home in front of the fans, and the Lumber Kings came out and they punched the Pistol Shrimp in the mouth to start this game because they were also looking for a playoff spot. But the Pistol Shrimp punched back as they always do, and a 10-9 victory on the walk-off fashion in 11 innings is just everything Pistol Shrimp baseball has been this season.
On a butt.
So,
yeah, absolutely.
So exciting. So for the Pistol Shrimp, that 10-9 victory, big shout out to the relief corps, especially Harrison Bodendorf, keeping the Pistol Shrimp into this game. 6 1/3 in relief is nothing to be like, oh my God, you just did win 6 1/3. Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that he went 6 1/3. And
it's what we expect now from Harrison, though. He continues to raise the
ridiculous
bar. He has been insane.
But Bodendorf with that big relief outing, a Pistol Shrimp victory. So then we can cruise. You know, we've clinched the spot. We don't have much to play for. So the Pistol Shrimp head to Lafayette. Let me set the scene for the fans here. The Pistol Shrimp head to Lafayette. There's nothing to play for. You've clinched your spot. You're going to play Danville. That's all you're worried about. You're playing Danville the next day. You're relaxing. So the Pistol Shrimp headed to Lafayette. We're going to stay the night in Lafayette. We'll take the hour drive to Danville. It'll be a nice Sunday game. We'll be real relaxed for that Danville game. So for this Lafayette game, whatever happens, happens. You know, whoever needs to pitch is going to pitch. Whoever doesn't need to pitch is not going to play. Yeah. Position players will get a rest day. So manager John Jakovic hands the lineup card over to Jason Shanner after the Pistol Shrimp spent the day at the water park outside of Loeb Stadium in Lafayette. That is how the Pistol Shrimp spent the start of the day. They went to the water park and then had some lunch, and then Shanner wrote a lineup card about probably an hour and a half, maybe only an hour before the game. I think we rolled up to the park, the latest I've ever rolled up to a park. It was like the game started at 7. Yeah. I made the broadcast booth at like 5:45. Never done that before.
Yeah, man.
So Shanna writes a lineup card. This was the Pistol Shrimp starting lineup. Regular PO, Zach Losi, leading off, playing center field. Regular PO, Harrison Bodendorf, batting second and playing second base. And manager and regular PO, Jason Shanner, batting third and playing first.
Absolutely.
Then we got a little bit regular lineup. Justin Rios played shortstop. He's never played shortstop before. Alton played right field. T. Conrad started on the mound and hit for himself. And then Kevin Parker, Ebony Vola both played positions that they normally didn't play, but regular hitters for the Shrimp.
Yeah.
Jason Shanner hit 3 balls in this game that should have been hits. That is where you knew that this game was going somewhere. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The Lafayette Aviators hit a 2-run home run in the first inning, and that was all, ladies and gentlemen. The Pistol Shrimp would end up beating the Aviators 3-2, Jayce.
No, really. And you mentioned it was those 2 runs in the top of the first inning, and then they just continued. It was a fun game. Obviously, you know, you're not really playing for anything. Kind of in the back of the mind, you're saying, yeah, it'd be nice if we can grab a win, maybe guarantee that if we're playing on Tuesday, it would be at home. But obviously, you roll out that lineup. You're not thinking about that. You're thinking about Danville. That's all that matters, and you've clinched that up. And Teague Conrad, give him credit, goes out there, gets the start, hits for himself, gives up that 2-run shot, and then shuts down this Aviators lineup. 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. Ivan Witt got an inning on the mound, went out there for 1 innings pitched, 1 hit, 0 runs. Martyr did face 1 batter and did walk that 1 batter, and then he was relieved for
2 batters.
Was it 2 batters?
He hit a guy and then walked a guy. And I meant to tell you this before, Jayce, but T. Conrad, the Lafayette Aviators did not understand what was happening. Let me just be clear.
Yeah.
We had jerseys that were messed up. There was pitchers who were hitting. There was hitters. So like they were so confused. So actually Teague went 5 innings in this game. He was fantastic.
Oh, did he?
Across 5.
Okay.
And then CJ Jensick, who was wearing someone else's jersey because his jersey wasn't there. And I don't think it was Teague's number because they couldn't figure out who it is, went the last 2 innings and closed the door. So the first 5 innings of this game, we had a real pitcher. And the last 2 innings of this game, we had a real pitcher. But Ivan went through a scoreless inning, getting just his defense to go to work. But Zach Lane came in and threw knuckleballs for an inning and almost struck out 3 guys. He only got 1, but he just threw knuckleballs. And the Aviators were so mad. Their hitters were so mad. So I'll tell you the story of Zach Lane is on the mound just throwing knuckleballs. He's clearly just going to throw knuckleballs. Like, he's not going to do it. And he's doing that because we just saw Harry Moderer pitch who tried to throw fastballs, and he almost killed 2 guys. Like, we had to get him out of the game. He could not locate a fastball. So Lane comes in. He's got a knuckleball. First kid walks up, swings through the knuckleball a few times. Then I think he finally grounded out or something. He goes to the on-deck batter and tells him he's throwing knuckleballs, as if we just didn't see only knuckleballs from him. So the next batter comes in and is mad. He's upset. He's like, throw a fastball. And Lane's like, I'm a position player pitching in a 2-0 deficit where we do not care. Like, I'm not going to throw you a fastball. So then he strikes out. The dude strikes out. Man. So they go to the next batter, and he's like telling him how the knuckleball is going to move. He's like, it's coming out of his hands real slow. And like in the on deck circle, I'm laughing in the radio booth because the Aviators are playing in front of their home crowd in front of 200 or 2,500 fans on Fan Appreciation Night against a Pistol Shrimp team that's already clinched. They're relaxing. Our third baseman and number 3 hitter is throwing knuckleballs on the mound, and they can't hit it. That was the game that we played. Then CJ Jensick came in and closed the door because it was only a 2-1 game. And John said, well, we might win. So then Zach Lane, Tucker Bougie batted in the 9th inning, and we scored 2 runs. And that was it. That was the game. That's pretty much it. Game. Zach Lane hit a 2-run double, and bada bing, bada boom. That was the game. Tucker Bougie was coaching first base most of the game. He didn't get in his uniform until like the 5th inning because he didn't need to. He wasn't going to play.
You might need to pinch it. Yeah.
Right. To win the game. And that's what the Pistol Shrimp did. And that was just the vibes. Like, John is just like, he's just talking about it. It's like, how did we do that? Like,
just
how did
icing on the cake.
Stay in this game with the Aviators and only give up a 2-run home run the entire time? But also, how did we win when Harrison Bodendorf played second, Justin Rios played short, and Jason Shanner batted third at first base?
Yeah.
We did it, though. Also, shout out Zach Losi for looking fantastic in center field. He might be our 3rd best defensive outfielder. I mean, he caught like every ball to him in center field. It was actually ridiculous. Elite athleticism on the mound for the Pistol Shrimp. Oh, that was my rant. A 3-2 victory.
That was a good one, man.
I wanted to I know you went there, and some people just like didn't catch the grasp of the day. Like, this is a game. The last time the Pistol Shrimp did it 2 years ago, or 2019, they lost 21-0 in a game like that. Because it was the final game of the season. They had already clinched. The pitchers made the lineup card. They lost 21-0. That's what you're supposed to do in these games. You're supposed to lose on the road 21-0. No, they won 3-2 to clinch home field advantage for the rest of the playoffs. Like, it was a meaningful game at the end of the day because Chillicothe lost. All right, moving on. That's the regular season, Jayce. Any final thoughts on the regular season before we finally recap this playoff game?
It couldn't have ended in better fashion. Obviously, that's what the Pistol Shrimp do. You know, they're a team. They're going out there. They know what the ultimate goal is. They know what they're trying to do, but they're going to have some fun along the way. And manager Jack Nick's going to make sure that they're going to have some fun along the way.
It was definitely fun along the way, but that was Saturday. So as we've said, we probably should have went 5-0 this week. Barely lost to Burlington. Then you got to win against Danville. Probably the best played game of the season for the Pistol Shrimp in terms of everything that they did. Then snuck out a victory at Clinton just by a grit determination to win at home. And then you went to Lafayette and you threw pitchers and position players out there just willy-nilly and somehow grabbed a victory. And the vibes couldn't have been higher heading into the only second playoff game in the history of Pistol Shrimp baseball. Sunday in Danville, in the just enemy territory of Danville Stadium. It was packed with 1,000 fans. We had Pistol Shrimp fans there. We slow rolled our way in. We relaxed. We started Jared Herzog on the mound. Me and you did the radio broadcast, and we'll give a big shout out to the 300 plus Pistol Shrimp fans that listened to the broadcast on Sunday for a very, very good Wabash River Division Championship game. Jayce, let's take the fans through here on the Shrimply Good podcast. This 11-10 9-inning victory for the Pistol Shrimp.
Yeah, if the entire work of the season is going to come down to one game, this was a great game for it all to come down to against the team with the best record in the Prospect League in the regular season. Obviously, that being the Danville Dans. These two top teams in the Prospect League did not disappoint in this one. The Shrimp came out against Josh Learson, statistically one of the best pitchers in the Prospect League this season, had a sub-1 ERA, tagged him for 4 hits, 4 runs, and 2 walks in just 1 inning of work. Shrimp looked really good through about the top of the 4th inning. Herzog in the bottom of that inning got into some trouble in the bottom of the frame, surrendered 6 runs to give the Dans a 7-5 lead. It looked like, this is what the Dans do. They continue to battle their way back. They have a very good lineup. Dans continued to add on to the Shrimp, and the Shrimp actually trailed 10-6 heading into the top of the 7th inning. Then the Shrimp do what they've done this entire season. They started the comeback. The Shrimp grabbed 2 in that 7th inning on an Evola sacked fly. Bougie scored on a wild pitch. And after a scoreless bottom of the 7th by Laxner, the Shrimp came out in that 8th inning. They scored 3 runs by Rakes, Rios, and Bougie to take that 11-10 lead. Then Laxner continued his strong outing out of the pen, was able to continue to put up zeros in that 8th and 9th inning to grab the 1-run victory and advance to the Eastern Conference Championship game against the Chillicothe Paints. And I know you probably want to talk about it as well. We talked about it throughout the broadcast. The starting catcher for the Danville Dans, Will Portera. Yep. Obviously, you pointed out very early on when he was doing warm-up pitches with the pitchers, he was throwing underhand. So obviously there was some sort of injury, something was compromised with him, and the Pistol Shrimp were able to pick up on that pretty quickly where, hey, if you're getting on first base, you got to make sure you're getting to second, you're getting to third, because Will was not able to throw down to the back. So the Pistol Shrimp were really good on the bases, did the job, and just continued to grind out this win. And it was an up and down battle throughout the entire time. And I know, between innings, me and you were like, we're excited. Oh, we got a couple more runs. And then here come the Dans. And it's like, oh, this is what they've done all season. And then the Pistol Shrimp just continue just a little bit, continue to battle back. And they grabbed that victory there at the end and made it close.
Yeah. I mean, I want to talk about just the dynamics of this game. I mean, the Pistol Shrimp took a 4-0 lead and the Danville crowd was silent. There was 1,000 fans in attendance and they took a 4-0 lead against the Dans team that had lost a bunch in a row. And we had talked about it coming into this game that they just hadn't been playing well. One, they were resting guys. They had their entire pitching staff available. They had lost a lot of guys. They were hurt and everything. So what we ended up finding out, they didn't have another catcher. There was 2 guys who had the opportunity to catch. Their shortstop and the one guy who came in to catch, Carpenter, started the game in left field, had both caught in high school. They had offered to catch, but Portera, who was still there, still wanted to play, wanted to catch, but he couldn't throw. He was having arm issues. That was the issue. Like, he physically was injured, could not catch, but they sent him out there still to the Danville Dans. They played him hurt out there at the catcher position, and it ended up being an important part of the game because he couldn't throw down to second. So the Pistol Shrimp took advantage of that while he was still behind the plate. But then the Danville Dans took a lead and said, we might win this game. Because if I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure if the Dans, without their big run output, thought they were going to win. They were very hurt. They came through with a lineup. They didn't have extra players. Their bench was just position players or just pitchers. They didn't have any position players left. They came into this game with 8 position players, and that was it. That's all the Danville Dans had coming into this game. And then they had pitchers. We saw them roll out pitchers. They needed to roll out the pitchers they can, but they couldn't roll out the pitcher they planned to start on Tuesday. That was the issue as well. So even though you have some of that bench, you didn't have it all. Josh Learson clearly wasn't himself as well. He had been one of the best pitchers in the Prospect League this season. His velocity was very low in that game. So the Dans were running on fumes, as many teams are in the Prospect League at this point. But Danville just didn't field a team in the competitive aspect to start this game with Portera and Learson. And the Pistol Shrimp took advantage. But as we see in many games, the Dans can hit. And that's what the Danville Dans did for the rest of this game. They smacked the Pistol Shrimp in the mouth with a 6 spot in that 4th inning to take advantage of this game. They had all the opportunity to win. But when you start Will Portera behind the plate, you have to put him somewhere in the field. And they put him at first base, and that was the second worst position for him because then the Pistol Shrimp took advantage of him at first, and he couldn't throw. So then that was this whole game for the Pistol Shrimp, was seeing how much bases they can take. They stole the most bases of the season. They really advanced their stolen base numbers, and they outplayed the Danville Dans in the small ball smarts of baseball. I fully believe that John Jakimick outmanaged Eric Coleman in this game, and that is the reason the Pistol Shrimp picked up the victory because It was the closest game I've ever been a part of, even out past that Clinton game. Because Clinton had stopped playing for a reason to play. They had lost playoff position in the middle of that game. They were just playing. The players didn't really know that, but their manager knew that, This game was for the Wabash River Division title, the closest game I've ever been a part of, and absolutely a barn burner to the very end. And the Pistol Shrimp did exactly what the Pistol Shrimp do. Everybody contributed in this game. Every single person in this lineup.
Absolutely.
Huge comeback, rally starters, 5 in the last 3 innings, and a shutdown door by Nick Laxner. And Laxner did what Laxner always does. He settles in. First inning, a little bit scary.
Yep.
Absolutely beautiful. After that, Laxner did what Laxner does. It was a great start from Herzog until that 6th inning as well. He really battled as his pitch count continues to go up in this season. His innings pitched is probably the highest he's ever done in a summer. So the Pistol Shrimp, absolutely, just as every other team in the league is right now, guys are wearing down. Everyone's fatigued, but they continue to battle. And not many teams can do what the Pistol Shrimp just did. 1, beat the Danville Dans at Danville, but 2, put everything on the line to beat the Danville Dans. And that's exactly what the Shrimp did to grab their first ever playoff victory. The Pistol Shrimp existed for 3 years, 4 through a pandemic, but 3 years in this prospect league. Inaugural season, made the playoffs, lost to the Cape Catfish. This year is just special already for the Pistol Shrimp. They have already eclipsed the most wins in regular season Pistol Shrimp history. They finished second in both hats over the Danville Dans, but to grab this first playoff victory just means a lot to a lot of people, and that's exactly what the Pistol Shrimp did here today. And you cannot take away anything that happened in this game because they bought to the very end for an 11-10 victory and a playoff game at Schweikert Stadium on Tuesday. Because of this game, we play on Tuesday because of everything that happened this week. So really, the Pistol Shrimp just did everything they could. They defeated the Danville Dans, and the fan base for the Shrimp just couldn't have been more excited after this victory.
No, absolutely. And I just want to touch on what you said about manager Jack McJohn as well. And I'm sure he's going to say, stop talking about me, guys. I'm not important if he listens to this, the podcast, but just, he noticed very early on what we noticed up in the booth about Portera. And immediately, that's what a good manager does, change the game plan. We are not a team that likes to steal bags a lot. We don't, we're smart on the base pass. We take it when we see an opportunity, and we sell an opportunity, and you have to use that as much as you can. But then also later on in that game, understanding what you need to do. Hey, maybe we're not going to get 4 runs this inning, but I got to make sure we get 2 this inning. I got 2 runners on, got to make sure I do it. Then I'm just talking about the bunting that the Pistol Shrimp did too. They laid down multiple bunts in this game. They had a key double steal where I can't even remember who, it might've been Jared Quant who was it was batting, just kind of showed bunt, brought in the third baseman, had the double steal, and they threw over to third base. He was nowhere near the bag to even try to cover it. That's just intelligence there. And that's just the game within the game for John Jackimick. And then also sacrifice squeeze or suicide squeeze there for Justin Rios to come home as well. It was picture perfect. You could not have executed it better. The trust that John has in his base runners, the trust that John has with that lineup that he throws out there, these guys just continue to play off of each other. They play so well as a team. And that game on Sunday was it was picture perfect for what they've done pretty much this entire season.
And that was the number 3 hitter, Zach Lane, on that sacrifice bunt. John sacrificed possibly more runs to tie the ball game up because that's how John plays the game.
Absolutely.
You play to tie and then you'll play to win. You have to stay in the game to win the game. And to have your number 3 hitter just put a professional bat out there, do the suicide squeeze, all that kind of stuff. It was just everything that we have come to know from the Pistol Shrimp this season, how intelligent the team is, how good the team is, how much they rally around each other, and how smart manager John Jackimick is to pull those strings just at the right times every time and pick up a victory. It couldn't have been better. It could have been more exciting. And there's just more excitement to come, Jayce. But I feel like we've spent a lot of time recapping already. So let's move into, we're going to talk about some regular season stats.
Yeah, overall in the regular season, the Pistol Shrimp finished with a 38-21 overall record. That includes a 20-11 record in the first half and an 18-10 record in that second half. And also they were 20-9 while playing at home, 18-12 while playing away, and second in both the first half and second half in that Wabash River Division, which we touched on throughout the entire season, has easily been the best division in the entire Prospect League. Second best total record in the Prospect League belongs to the Pistol Shrimp. Obviously, that first one being to those Danville Dans.
Yeah, that first half record was their second best in the league, second half record, second best in the league, and overall record, second best in the league, only behind.
That's how you do it.
But over the current season now, after their playoff victory, the Pistol Shrimp are 39-21 overall, 1-0 in the playoffs. They have they're batting 273, which is fourth best in the league. They have 116 doubles, best in the league, and 46 hit by pitches, best in the league. They also have a 4.07 ERA for best in the league, 656 Ks, best in the league, almost 100 more than the next closest there, and 442 hits only given up. So not only do they give up the least amount of runs on the pitching side of things, they also give up the least amount of hits because so many strikeouts. They now have a 955 fielding percentage, with sixth in the league, with the second most opportunities. They have 1,587 putouts, but they've been really good on the hitting side of things this year, along with those pitching side of things. And we see a lot of Pistol Shrimp in the top 10 in the Prospect League leaderboards. Let's talk about where each finished to end the regular season, with a few with an extra game. Let's talk about those top 10 in batting.
Yeah, it seems like every single week we're adding a few more names to this list. As Tucker Bougie, he's not one that has been added. He has been at the top. He is currently first in average in the Prospect League at 364. Zach Lane is now seventh in the Prospect League in that average category with a 333. Get back to Tucker Bougie, first in on-base percentage in a 476, sixth in slugging percentage at a 570. It's MVP numbers, if you ask me. Zach Lane is 10th in slugging percentage with a 522. Tucker Bougie is also sixth in total hits with 60 on the season. Zach Lane, once again, tied for first in doubles with 15. Jared Kwan is tied for fourth in triples with 4. Tucker Bougie, fifth in RBIs with 49. Justin Rios is now 10th in walks with 34, continues to get a lot of those free passes. Harry Moderer, 6th in hit by pitches with 11, and Tucker Bougie right behind him, 8th in hit by pitches with 10.
Yeah, Tucker Bougie just dominating a lot of leaderboards right now. So
MVP numbers.
Best person in the league to get hits and get on base. I mean, that's pretty high.
By the way, his home run number, a pretty good pitcher.
Yeah, well, that's correct as well. If you're going to talk about just most valuable player, I guess we probably should give him the nod on both of those categories. But not showing up on any of the pitching leaderboards is Bougie right now, but a lot of Pistol Shrimp are. Harrison Bodendorf now tied for fourth in wins with 5. Jared Herzog first in strikeouts with 75, and then Ty Weatherly fourth in strikeouts with 71. Zach Lozzi sixth in strikeouts with 72, or 62, I should say. And Tucker Bougie, 9th in strikeouts with 59. So he's getting up there in the strikeout numbers. The Pistol Shrimp have 4 different pitchers in the top 10 in strikeouts, and they have a few sitting on the outside looking in, namely Harrison Bodendorf now up there, Jason Channer near that as well. So some really good numbers from the Pistol Shrimp on the pitching side of things. That's what happens when you have the best pitching staff in the Prospect League. But let's talk about those other games, Jayce, as well, before we get into what's coming up this week for Pistol Shrimp baseball action. There was 3 other games that took place on Sunday in the other division championships. Let's just give the fans a quick little note on what happened in those games.
Yeah, and in the game that most Pistol Shrimp fans are probably paying the most attention to over in the East Ohio River Valley Championship, Chillicothe Pete's defeated the Johnstown Mill Rats 16-0. So that is how you have the matchup coming up with the Pistol Shrimp and those Paints. Over in the West in the Great River Championship, the Quincy Gems defeated the Normal Corn Belters, and that one 6-3. And in the West Prairie Land Championship, the Alton River Dragons defeated the Springfield Lucky Horseshoes 4-1 in that one to move on in the West side of things.
Yeah, and that was an interesting matchup because we do first and second half. So in terms of winning records in those matchups, the Alton River Dragons hosted, the Chillicothe Paints hosted, and the Quincy Gems hosted. They all had the best records there, winning records, and were first half champs. So Alton 33-28, and Quincy is 32-29. Those are the 2 teams left on the other side. And then Chillicothe is 39-22, second best record in the league, or third best record in the league behind the Pistol Shrimp, and now the Danville Dans, who are out. So the 3 host teams won, except for the Pistol Shrimp, who defeated the Dans at Danville. And then if you're looking at terms of who their opponents were, Normal did have a winning record as Quincy defeated them, but they played Springfield and did Alton. They had a 27-34 overall record, and then Johnstown was 29-32. So you kind of expected each of those teams to win. They had better overall records. They looked better in the first half. We're cruising in the second half as well. So the teams you expect expected to win did win, except for maybe if you're a Danville fan or you watch Danville play all year, you probably didn't expect the Pistol Shrimp to defeat Danville. But this is the matchups we expected heading into this week. And here's what's happening this week, just simply for the Pistol Shrimp, but also for the rest of the week. So on Tuesday, we've talked about it. We're just going to give you that FYI again. 7:05 first pitch, Schweikert Stadium at Veterans Memorial Park in Peru, the Eastern Conference Championship game between the Illinois Valley Pistol Shrimp and the Chillicothe Paints. And then if the Pistol Shrimp do win on Tuesday, they will be afforded at least 2 more games, maybe 3. If they win on Tuesday, it'll be Thursday, August 11th, either at Alton or Quincy for a 6:30 first pitch. It's the first game of that championship series. Then if they win on Tuesday, they could play that Saturday game, which is a Saturday-Sunday at the either Chillicothe Paints or the Pistol Shrimp. But if it's the Pistol Shrimp, they'll play at Schweikert Stadium either versus Quincy or Alton at 7:05 on Saturday, August 13th. And then if they were to lose one of those first 2 games, we would play an if needed game on Sunday with a time still to be determined on Sunday, August 14th, either versus Alton or Quincy. So the Pistol Shrimp won on Sunday. They're afforded a game versus the Paints on Tuesday in another 1-game playoff. And then we will head into, if we win on Tuesday, a 3-game championship series that only needs to go 2 if one of the teams wins the first 2 games. But the Pistol Shrimp would go on the road on Thursday before returning home on Saturday and Sunday for 2 games because they have the better overall record. It will go through the East, which the Pistol Shrimp are in, because the Paints have that other good record as well. But that's what we're looking for this week. And all you need to know right now is Tuesday, Jayce. Tuesday. Schweikert Stadium, Veterans Memorial Park on Tuesday. We have a lot packed in already. It is right in front of us, Jason. All I got to say is we are packing Schweikert Stadium at Veterans Memorial Park. I'm looking at you again. We want you at Veterans Memorial Park and Schweikert Stadium on Tuesday. We have so much in store, including food vendors, the Doghouse LaSalle and Little Bella's Pizza, including drinks. This is a list, Jayce. We are plenishing our crowd. We have limited cans and drafts at the beer tent while supplies last, and all cocktails at Star Union Spirits, $5 throughout the night. We have some alcohol to get rid of, so fans come already.
Come check it out.
Don't worry, we're not going to just do limited supplies at Schweikert Stadium and Veterans Park. That's right. Tapville Mobile will be back for this Tuesday playoff game. They're back with their mobile tap room, including delicious sangria, white and red wine, and 13 beers and ciders available. But it doesn't stop there, Jayce. What else we got in store on Tuesday?
Yeah, we will also have a limited supply of Division Champion T-shirts available for $20 at the Merch Shack. Be sure to get over there early if you're looking to pick up one of those T-shirts. Also, back by popular demand, I should say, Axe Stream Throwing is back for free axe throwing for all fans as well, and free cupcakes for the first 200 fans will be given away. We'll also be giving out brand new and some season-long lucky numbers. The beer batter of that game will also be in any $2 drafts at the beer tent, exciting on-field activities as well, and including a brand new dice roll as well.
Yeah, I have some exciting news on a few of those things you just said. So that Division Champions T-shirt that those fans, that picture that we posted for the Division Champs, that logo that sits underneath the players, that is that T-shirt. So if you really like that logo, it's on some T-shirts. It'll be available at the Merch Shack. Axe throwing's back. Duh.
Self-explanatory there. Yeah,
you know why that's here. we're very nice people here at Pistol Shrimp Baseball, but we're gonna have all 4 of the regular lucky numbers we've been doing all season. Then we'll have some other new ones as well. Free cupcakes from High V for the first 200 fans. But I want to explain the beer batter and then the dice roll as well. So the beer batter, we usually do $1 cans. We're running low on cans, but we got some kegs to get rid of. So while supplies last, it's $2 draft beers on a beer batter for 5 minutes. So it's usually 10 minutes for cans, $2 drafts at the beer tent for 5 minutes if the beer batter strikes out. We are very focused on the game on Tuesday, but we can't not have beer batter. I mean, we just can't not do it. I had to do it. And then for the dice roll, the So Cute Shrimp Wild Roll, done. It's over. It was a 30-game promotion, but we have a brand new 3 dice roll coming your way that we are very excited about, and we will talk about it on Tuesday, but be prepared. We're going to do multiple of those. You'll have a chance to win stuff at the game, including a hat, a T-shirt, $50 cash, $100 cash, and 2 free hot dogs at the doghouse during the game. So we'll do that throughout the game on Tuesday as well. We have some really exciting stuff. And then our normal on-field activities, but also some exciting on-field activities. We're putting a lot of thought into what we're going to do on Tuesday, but that is what's happening on Tuesday. I'm going to stop, let everyone just take a second to realize that you need to be at Schweikert Stadium on Tuesday. And not just you. Like, if you're just like, all right, I'm writing it down, I need you to text like 10 people at least, like a 10th at least. All of your friends. Post on Facebook yourself. Are you going to Schweikert Stadium? Hashtag Pack Veterans Park. We're doing it, folks.
On
all
what
right.
day?
I am being Tuesday, Jayce.
On Tuesday. Okay.
I'm telling fans right now, pack Schweikert Stadium and Veterans Memorial Park on Tuesday. 7:05 first pitch. We'll have stuff set up at 6 for the pregame. We'll have lots of exciting stuff, all the normal stuff, the beer batter selection, a first pitch, a national anthem, lineup introductions, but tap bill, axe throwing, all the exciting stuff normally at Schweikert Stadium. We'll be there. But make sure you're telling all the people that you know to get there. Text people, post on your social media, hashtag Pack Veterans Park. And then on Tuesday, you don't have to put that in the hashtag. I just want the hashtag to be Pack Veterans Park. But let's do it. Let's get to it. Tuesday, 7:05, Peru, Illinois.
Be there.
Not Peru, anywhere else. Peru, Illinois. All right. It's the most exciting part of the Shrimply Good podcast. Now we have waited long enough. Let's talk about our Shrimply Good Players of the Week, presented by Tangled Roots Brewing Company. This is from Wednesday to Sunday. Only 5 games the Pistol Shrimp played, but we have 2 very deserving players who are here with us, and we're going to talk about what these 2 did. Let's talk about our 2 Shrimply Good Players of the Week, presented by Tangled Roots Brewing Company.
Yeah, absolutely. To kick it off this week, I got to give it to our now first-time Shrimply Good Player of the Week award winner, and that's Alton Geiselman. He put together a really great week, and really it's when the Pistol Shrimp have needed it most from that big catcher. Comes in on this week, 15 at-bats, 7 hits in those 15 at-bats, 3 runs scored, 3 doubles, 7 RBIs, worked a walk, and he really found himself towards that kind of bottom of the middle part of the lineup, and he just has continued to get those RBIs. He's been getting clutch hits throughout this entire week, and as I mentioned, it's when we've needed him most. He's really put together his best week as a Pistol Shrimp, and it's just been great to see his hard work throughout this entire season start to really pay off.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Geiselman was just super good this week. He finally hit a good stride to get a lot of starts, and a big nod for Alton Geiselman. But the big story of this week and our Shrimply Good Player of the Week on the pitching side of things, who's also going to grab some numbers on the hitting side of things.
Absolutely.
That's our favorite Shrimply Good Player of the Week, the man who is grabbing this nod again this season. It's Tucker Bougie. He took a few weeks off of this Shrimply Good Player of the Week, but he's finally back after a fantastic final week of the regular season, including a big game on Sunday. Bougie at the plate this week, only batted 11 times, 11 true bats. Got 5 hits, 7 runs, 2 doubles, 5 RBIs, 5 walks, and 3 hit by pitches this week for Tucker Bougie. People didn't want to pitch to him, and when they did, he pretty much got a hit. But he's also getting this nod because he was absolutely fantastic on the mound this week in relief. He pitched a game, 4 2/3 innings of work, 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 11 strikeouts, and a 0.00 ERA. Tucker Bougie, congrats. You're back in. The only other man who's ever joined us in the podcast. We had Tucker Bougie join us for an interview. That's the only other man who's done that this year. Tucker Bougie, congrats. You're back with a Shrimply Good Player of the Week, along with Alton Geiselman, a really good catcher for the Pistol Shrimp this week. Those presented by Tangled Roots Brewing Company could be the last nods of the season, but if we play a few games this week, we'll do another Shrimply Good Player of the Week after the fact, before eventually we'll name our Pistol Shrimp Players of the Year. We'll have to do it at some point. So we'll get there. But for right now, that's what you need to know. A big congrats to Tucker and Alton for their Shrimply Good Player of the Week nods. Jayce, any final nods? Any final thoughts on this episode 10 of the Shrimply Good podcast?
Yeah, basically it's just watching the Pistol Shrimp and what they basically done this entire week. It's awesome to see, because when we kind of look through the numbers and the individual and you try to separate that from what the team has done, it's kind of hard to do. And that's because down this stretch, you're losing guys here and there. This arm's not ready to go. This guy needs an extra day of rest. Just the way that they've come together as a team has just been fantastic to see. They're focused. They know what the goal is. They went into Danville on a business trip. They got it done. Now they got a chance to play at home on Tuesday, and hopefully they're going to go out there and get the job done there as well.
It's a big, big day on Tuesday. Jayce, what do people got to do on Tuesday?
They got to pack Schweikert Stadium. Pack
That's
Veterans Park.
That is right. Let's get it out there, fans. We're really excited for you to watch this today, and we're really excited to see you on Tuesday. 7:05 first pitch. Pregame festivities start at 6. Schweikert Stadium, Veterans Memorial Park in Peru. Thank you, fans, for joining us for another edition of the Shrimply Good podcast. We hope to see you on Tuesday at the ballpark. Remember, though,
Absolutely.
if you can't make it, me and Jayce still have a job to do, and you can tune in on the Pistol Shrimp Radio Network or on Prospect League TV. Just go to prospectleague.tv to learn more. So if you can't make it and you just want to watch the game, there is single game fees on Prospect League TV as well. So if you just want to pay for that, you can get out there, go watch it. Otherwise, free coverage on the Pistol Shrimp Radio Network. Thank you, fans, for stopping by episode 10 of the Shrimply Good podcast during this 2022 season. This episode presented by Beaver Creek Golf Carts. Feel the claw, and we'll see you next time.
Do the Pistol Shrimp. Do the Pistol Shrimp.